Good morning, everyone. So happy to welcome you back to Laurel Park once again. Naomi Tucker alongside our long-standing morning line odds maker, as well as handicapper Supreme. Keith, are you fresh and ready to go?
I guess. I hope. I hope. Yeah, I'm ready to go. There's no doubt about it. So, yeah, had to just deal with some stuff here. We're all back. We're ready to go. We're going to hurry up the races a little bit just to give everybody a heads up. Get your bets in early and off, and just be sure about that because we're gonna be speeding up the races due to some impending weather.
Yep.
Some snow is looming, but yeah, looking forward to get back to gambling. Absolutely.
Same here.
Yeah.
Fresh, ready to rock and roll again. So excited that we have 10 races coming your way today. But as Keith already highlighted, we will be running these races kind of in a quicker fashion than you're used to from us
Yeah.
to try and beat that inclement weather coming
Yeah.
your way. But as of as for our racing schedule, we do have a race day planned for tomorrow as well. We will be running on Martin Luther King Day as well, Monday, January the 17th. Of course, we'll keep an eye out on how the weather continues to develop. Let's look at the track at present. We are coined as fast. As you guys are all aware, we are not running on the turf here. And it's a bit more of a chilly day than we've been used to. Temperatures have quite steeply dropped.
18 degrees. It's got some bite to it outside. There's no doubt about it. So good, everybody, whole team effort. You talking about from the grooms, the trainers, the horse, everybody involved in putting on the program today. You know, hats off to you. Dealing with the elements, we've got some stuff looming, but yeah, we're going to get through it. Track, updated winterization, some other things going on with that. So we'll see how the track plays today. If we notice any biases or anything develop, certainly Naomi and crew will let you guys know. But that's where we're at right now. It's a cold day. Get something in your system and be ready to roll. Load up the account.
Absolutely, and of course, massive respect goes out to all the horsemen and women and all
Yeah.
the jockeys. Indeed,
The jockeys, yeah.
working out here in these cold. I think the horses don't mind too much. I remember that when I was an exercise rider, I didn't mind as long as you kept going, as long as you're active on the horses. The horses love it. They kind of get a bit of spring in their step. So let's have a look at these 10 races coming your way. First race of the day starts at early pick 5, mile and 16. The distance here for maiden claimers 25 to 20,000. We have a video spotlight on your top selection, Keith. The number 1 spritzer for trainer Willie Key, JD Acosta. You can see him right there. He did show lots of speed on that day. That was November the 5th here. Showed hot, and I thought he held on very, very gamely. Massively outran his odds, 14 to 1, as you can see right there.
Yeah, like kind of 3 okay efforts sandwiched in between 2 poor tries for Willie Key when it moved into this barn, but this was a really good effort. Normer came out of this race to run, I think, a decent third at Penn and an allowance race, was able to kind of control things slower up front. But I like the way that Spritzer continued on well to the wire, giving effort in a 2-turn race this particular day. We're back to 2 turns. We're inside. Last time out, would have liked to seen a little bit more aggressive ride from the rider that particular afternoon. It was a bigger field, maybe got lost in the shuffle early on, just never showed any run. I don't pick Willie Key a lot. You know, the trainer he doesn't win a ton, but he's been a mainstay here. I'm rooting for him. I'm always rooting for an underdog. Spritzer, get to the front and don't look back.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's going to try for sure, especially JD. We know JD's quite an aggressive gate rider when he wants to be. But I landed on the number 2, Image Maker, who also, I think, is going to show a fair bit of speed. He's a lightly raced 4-year-old. He showed good early speed. Last time out, sort of trying to take over before slightly tiring. I think he's going to try and press Spritzer a little bit. I think he's got the advantage with the draw as well. As Spritzer is kind of stuck between him and the rail. And if Image Maker breaks well enough, he can kind of, apply that pressure and hopefully make a move into it as well. And I thought he improved in that second start. And if he improves kind of up that curve, I think he's going to be dangerous.
Yeah, they kind of walked home that particular day, but the pace was very solid. He made a move into that quicker pace, a little bit of a fade late, got nipped for the place by Uncommon Valor. Yeah, I'm going to need, I think, Spritzer to clear off Naomi early and then relax. If Image Maker is right there kind of pressing my top selection, I could be in a little bit of trouble. So Uncommon Valor maybe to pick up the piece. Didn't know what to make of the 5. Solomon's Choice stretching out. There wasn't much on the family. Not a whole lot there. This was certainly looks like the most talented of all the offspring out of this mare. But a little drop here I think is gonna help this horse out.
Yeah, I taken a bit of flyer because he's done well against some tougher foes
Yeah.
than what he's finding here today. Race number 2 starts the early pick 4 sequence. Now, Keith, are we going to get lucky here? Now we're back racing.
Let's go. Let's try. I mean, we had an okay little run there for a while with these pick fours, and we'll try to get you back on your feet today. Right off the layoff, singling Kieran McGee with the 3 Awesome View to get you started race 2. Race 3, 3 deep with the 1, 5, and 6. I like Mercury 10 today. Shorter price. I think this is a logical horse to be 1, 2 in there. I think he's going to be awfully tough. Race 4 with the 1, 2, 6. Again, hashtag lucky is my top selection. There, the 6. Hopefully can wire the field. And race 5, spread a little deeper with the 2, 4, 6, and 8. Some speed there, some closers. Tough little call in the 5th. I've had a soft spot in my heart for Rockenfellers. He's going to be my top selection. We have a video of him. Only $18, though, to get you started for that early pick 4.
Yeah, Rockenfellers is actually my price play of the day, so I like him as well. But you single the number 3 here in race number 2. Awesome View. Look, she does seem to tower over them in this field. Is there anyone else that we need to be paying attention to over this 5.5 furlong dash?
Well, it looks like the 5 and the 6 are the 2 that are going to be closest to her early to apply any pressure. I just think Awesome View's come out of better races. Double key race 2 races back. I think she's fast. And I don't think if she has a little bit of hiccup out of the gate, I think at 5.5, she doesn't necessarily need the lead either. Aggressive spot here, the right spot for Kieran. That's why he wins so many races. Takes the edge. I'll take that one. I was going to use Thea's Theme underneath as a price, but the 4 is scratched. Scratch the 4, Thea's Theme in here.
Apologies, that my bad here. I did actually scratch her, but didn't scratch her from my selection.
Right.
So yeah, that's just me getting into the swing of things here again. But yeah, I use the number 5 underneath myself. Always something like you said. I think she's going to be trying to press her here. I like the way that she's been trying in her last couple of outings. She shows a lot of speed. Doesn't always see it out as of late. So hence I like the 5.5 a little bit better for her. But look, it's very hard to oppose Awesome View in this spot. So I understand the single. She just kind of towers over the field here.
She does. I mean, if she breaks fairly well, I think she keeps them within range or goes right to the front. Utterly Enchanting will be my price underneath for maybe to complete that exact, because I think Awesome View is going to be an awfully short price. Second off a little break. Chased, last time caught wide against Similar. She might move up a little bit to help, boost that exact if that favorite does, in fact, get home.
Yeah, I mean, I have a little bit of love for Minnetonka as well, just because I like the outside draw for her here, and she can press kind of whoever wants the gun to the front, and she always really tries. So, I don't mind her being outside. She only got 4 horses now running on her inside with a scratch of the number 4. So, yeah, Minnetonka, give her a small chance in here as well. Race number 3, maiden claiming 25 to 20,000. 1 turn, 1 mile, the distance here. And Keith, you landed on the number 6. I've got him in my exact. That's Mercury 10, who's coming here off the back of a 3-month layoff. We do have a video of his last race. That is right here at Laurel Park, over course and distance, where he was on the rail behind the pace. What I actually thought was kind of interesting is that he was asked to move up early by Michael, and he kind of duly put himself into the race doing so. He held his spot on the rail before kind of taking plenty of, kickback, but still rallied through the wire. You can see him there kind of trying to split horses. I thought it was very game performance.
I think he comes out of a good field here. Van Scholar has come back since and won a race, won an allowance. Great ride this particular day. Was able to kind of sneak up the inside. Really wasn't stopped at all. Momentum just kept on going. Van Scholar's just a little better horse. Got away with a little bit of softer pace that day, but look at the effort Mercury 10 brings to the wire. Lasix back at this mile distance. Family route winners in this family. I think Mercury 10 is a key horse in your exactas in here from just off the pace. I don't think the pace is going to be blazing. I see him fairly forward by the time they turn for home. I just think he's got the bottom working well. Good steady workout pattern for this horse, and this barn does well with this kind of a layoff. So there's my key, one of my keys of the day in my exactas.
So I landed on one of the runners that I'm hoping is going to be a little bit more forwardly placed now, stretching back out to the mile. The number 4, Make the Way. Clear, blinkers come off. I thought he showed a little bit of improvement in terms of his speed figures against maiden 40. 40 company. Now, last time he was going over the mile, he was on the lead and backed up. I think there might be just a little bit more conservative with him today, that he doesn't really need to be up front and kind of just keep on rolling. Gets Charlie Marquez on board. We're going to talk about this in a second. Of course, Charlie Marquez is one of 2 apprentices here that are in the running for the Eclipse Award.
Absolutely. We have Geraldo there as well. I guess you would make him maybe the favorite based on number of wins. But, make the way clear. I see a little bit of a sprint lean in the breeding. I know they tried this horse long and backed up. Maybe a different plan. Maybe settle from just off the pace and make a run with the blinkers off. I think the ones they use are here. First time in the barn for Michael Merriman, up-and-coming young trainer on this circuit. I think is going to do well. Boyce will fit this horse as well, too. I'd like to see a little bit more speed. But this field, the little drop here, I think Mr. 19 can get within some kind of range by top of the stretch and bring a finish.
I think so as well. But the more we talked about Mercury 10, the more I like him as well here. So, good catch there with the video spotlight. We know that whenever you kind of pull up a horse or 2, they tend to do quite well. Okay. So, as a bettor, do keep your eyes open and see whoever horse you can come up with.
Yeah, if we highlight them and we put a stat on them, they've been pretty consistent with making their way.
You've done pretty well with them
into the picture. So
credit where credit's due. Race number 4, we do start the middle pick 4 there because we have 10 races. So Rainbow Pick 6 starts in race number 5. 7 furlongs the distance here. Nominees are 3 lifetime, claiming 16 to 12.5. We'll start on your top selection, Keith, who I have in my exacta as well. That is hashtag lucky 4-year-old filly. Look, she's very, very fast early. My only question mark is she going to be able to hold off some of these closers as she's going 7 furlongs here? Now, she's gone over the mile before, so we know that she can see it out, but I'm just a little bit worried because what we've seen is that she can show that sort of blistering early speed and then not always be around in that later section.
Yeah, and that's going to be outer post, load in last, let's break and let's get clear. She just can't go too fast. Too soon in here. I think she can carry it against this group. I thought she'd be a little bit more forward last time in that route. She was not on an off track, chased a pretty quick horse around there and just backed up. I like the trust in this horse. Nobody was going really as hot as Sanchez Salomon before this little break here. There's a barn that's been on an absolute tear. Torch Carrier, first time for Frock. Just hasn't done anything wrong. I'm looking for a little value because the 2 is going to be a very short price. Torch Carrier to stalk and make a move into it. Owen's Pleasure. A little sluggish. Numbers kind of tower, right, consistently. I just don't super trust this horse at a short price.
Yeah, I thought third after Leo for Owen's Pleasure. She closed into a subpar pace last time out. I think there's going to be a bit more pace presence here today. Yeah. I think that's going to help her. But yeah, Torch Carrier, it's funny you say she's done nothing wrong. My note said has done nothing but win or run second, and she showed capable of sitting close. She can stay with a hot pace and still continue. I think she's probably the more progressive filly in this field. The more I look at her, the more I kind of like her. Actually.
The only knock to her is this, and when I see a barn, very capable barn, Mike Duralis as a horse wins first out, does it well, good effort second out, then we drop early on in the credit. That scares me a little bit. The Frocks kind of took the bait. We'll see. Maybe it was a little cat and mouse game. I'm not sure, but that's just my concern there. But take nothing away from the horse's efforts. They've all been good.
Yeah, let's hope that she shows us that she's still around and doing well for the new barn with Charles Frock there. Race number 5 is where we now start the Rainbow Pick 6. 6 furlongs the distance, and nickel claimers in here. And I have a price base, actually your top selection in here as well, 9-year-old Rockenfellers. You know, he's been earning his keep. Let's look at his last race where didn't get away as quickly as he normally tends to get away. It just looked like slight break in, slight, maybe hesitation there. Yeah. Hard written by Horacio to still get up and get his position there.
Yeah, he got position. The head kind of just went up in the air, a little flutter, and broke up, beat slow, and was really used hard. You said it. And who's he got to chase? One of the fastest horses around, right? Super Garner, what's he won? 30 races this past year? He's won a ton, right? He won like 9 or I think 10 maybe for the year. Just a phenomenal racehorse. This horse doesn't stop, though, Rockenfellers. He's chasing. Just giving effort. He's not giving up. I mean, he's trying every step of the way. He's a horse that I think if he breaks clean, he can take pressure. If Bull Shark wants to fight him, fine. go ahead.
Yeah.
He can dispose of him, and I think still hang on. He's going to have to look in his rearview mirror. Pascal Chant, Natty Bow kind of going to be there, and maybe the 4, My Sacred Place.
Yeah, hoping that Rockenfeller is going to just have a touch better break today, because you can't leave anything in the gates when you're going 6 furlongs or 5.5. And yeah, you already mentioned the number 6, Pascal Chant, as well, who actually has been doing very decently for trainer Dale Capuano. He just ran into super tough Nash Vegas, another one. It's been, I think it was like 3 back-to-back wins that he ran into him there. I mean, Pascal Chant dropping back down to the nickel, I think, is going to be very tough too. And yeah, you mentioned Bullshark possibly being that sort of pace influence from the outside. JD might just be aggressive with him and see how far he can take them. I wouldn't exclude Bullshark from hanging around, at least for a little bit of a piece.
Yeah, this flow is going to be quick. It's going to be honest up top. And that's why if you're looking for a little bit of value, I think, let's go back here real quick. I think Sanchez Salamon's horse, Natty Bow, is going to be a little bit of a price in here. Still going to be okay. And that's where I also kind of look at My Sacred Place, turning back wide early, moved in on an okay pace going long. I think at 6, the turn back is within reason here for this horse. Maybe not to win it, but to pick up a piece. So, yeah, there's a chance for a little bit of a pace meltdown. But, man, this horse does try the Rockefellers, especially the nickel. When he's been running for the nickel, he's been deadly. He's
been very, very sharp indeed. We'll go to a quick commercial, but stay with us. We've still got plenty of races coming your way.
Top by 3, by 4, and moving away.
Welcome back to Laurel Park. We're on race number 6, 10 in total coming your way this Sunday. Maiden claimers 25 to 20,000. 1 turn, 1 mile. The distance, Keith, you and I agreed on our top selection here on the outside. The number 9 Schoolyard Bully for trainer Kieran McGee. He's fresh. He showed up with a very strong late close going the mile in 16 last time out. He's been at Pimlico preparing for this. The barn does well with these type of layoffs. It seems like all sort of everything seems to be pointing towards this 3-year-old.
And that's something we have to look at too a little bit. Maybe the Pimlico horses have a little bit of edge. They've been able to kind of work a little bit more. We'll see how it all plays out, but a different surface there than it has been maybe at Laurel. But Schoolyard Bully, I agree with you. I think he sits a good trip. The move back down to the 25. Looking at the flow, Jason's takes long, and Free Square will be providing some pace in here, maybe even a long shot like the 7 far from. I think Schoolyard Bully will be able to drop in a little bit, save a ground, maybe get mid-pack, about 4 or 5 out, and just kind of grind it out and get the job done. The Lasix goes on. He's run against the right kind. 2 back offer. Love came back to run well. And Lord Mio, who beat him last time, ran pretty good. Had an excuse in an allowance race. So I give a little edge here to Schoolyard Bully.
Yeah, I do as well. And then I tend to go with some of the speedsters in here. I know Free Square has that low draw. He's got lots of early talent. I do wonder about the second wire that he's now got to go. But I thought his performance over a mile and 16 2 starts ago wasn't that bad at all. Yes, got bested by Schoolyard Bully. He was able to overtake. Hence, I've got Schoolyard Bully on top. Do like Free Square a little bit here. And Jason Takes Long, who actually improved for the Anthony Ferrier barn when he started with the stable for the first time last time out, when he actually dueled on the lead before just having to let a closer come by.
Did, and he was on the worst part of the racetrack that day. 27th was a favorable surface for the outside runners. This horse was down inside, took heat every step of the way, and you talked about it. It improved. Ferrier barn improved last couple months. Things are going up and up for that barn, take into consideration. I go 9-6-1-2. The 6 comes in, Tony Aguirre. We've seen this move before with him, with some horses come down from Woodbine. One that came back, Dinosaur Ben, reeled off a couple really good races. So this is a sneaky kind of horse with Lasix. Should be fit off of that surface at Woodbine.
Yeah, I was looking at this 3-year-old gelding and just wondering, is he going to be able to translate his performances? Done well over the distance, so clearly can go over it. It has been training here on the Laurel surface. So, yeah, use him underneath as a bit of a player. Like you said, I think there is going to be speed. I think that's going to suit Oxin Kulka. So let's see how he fares. And perhaps we can get a little bit of a price. What did you end up lining him at? Because I normally write down my prices, but I don't always.
I've got him at 8, and I think that's about right. I think he'll settle in about that range. Yeah, because the money's going to come in on Lacey's horse and Kieran's horse, and then I think within range there would be Farrier and Claudia. So yeah,
I like that as a price play in here.
Could
actually
be a little bit of a use. We'll see.
Yeah. The number 6 Oxine Kulka, that is race number 7. Optional claim is starter allowance for fillies and mares 4-year-olds and up. Another race over the distance of the 1 turn 1 mile. And I have a ticket in here, actually. We're doing the late pick 4. I know you had the early pick 4. We actually got 3 pick 4 sequences today, starting in race 2, race 4, and then in race 7. I went with the late one because I start with a single. Now, I don't like doing that.
That's what I did with my early
But you
one.
did as well, because if the opportunity is there, I think you should grab it and go for it. So I used Me Cleopatra, and it was a career best effort to start to go over course and distance, where she just sat a lovely trip. I think she's going to sit the trip again. Also believe that this filly's just cut out to run the 1 turn mile here. She keeps grinding. She loves running into it. And I just think that she's probably got them here if it all goes her way. Race 8, I go 4 deep in that spot, in that first level allows. The 1, the 2, the 8, and the 10. I like Semperfi on top, but I feel can make a case for a couple of others. So wanted to spread in that race. And then race number 9, I go 3 deep here using the 1, the 2, and the 3. So literally red, white, and blue there. Good measure for Grey Emotion is on the rail, but my top selection there, Mid Mazel, who actually overcame a high draw with that short run up, lost them out over the mile in 16 to take them all the way. I thought that was a phenomenal performance for her for the level that day. So I feel like she can do just as good here today with a more advantageous draw in the race 10. 2, 4, and 5 for me. That's $18 flat late pick 4 ticket, where I am hoping to catch some value in the other 3 legs and get Me Cleopatra and I home.
Exactly, and certainly in the last race, just looking at your ticket, I like you're trying to beat the 2 to 5 in Treasure Tradition. So you play that ticket first and say you think the 2's a single. Come back and single top and bottom if you want. So play that long shot ticket with those prices in there as well. So a couple different ways to do it. So I like that. I like the way you structured that.
Yeah, thank you. Yep. Let's hope it pays off, though. Everything is revolving around my best bet of the day in the number 4, Me Cleopatra. And I already said that it's a 1 turn 1 mile here. Let's look back at that career best performance that she showed 2 starts ago, where she just sat a lovely trip. That is the number 2 before being navigated into the clear by Louis Garcia and just relishing that long stretch. She just kept on grinding, kept on finding. Like I said before, I feel like she's simply cut out to do well over this distance that is quite unique. Not many racetracks have that 1 turn mile, and some horses take to it, and I feel like she does.
Yeah, she likes it. She's versatile enough. She overcame some traffic last time out, going 7 furlongs, but I like this effort at a mile. Back at it today. There is some speed to target, just like she saw in this. This might be a little bit better group, more seasoned group than what she beat this particular afternoon, but she's in such good form. How about Louis Garcia? You know, what he's been doing of late. Been around here a long time, took a little bit of break. One of our best riders going back, and he can still ride. So it's good to see him back winning Louis Garcia.
Yeah, you use the number 7 in your exacta as well. Breviary, I use her underneath. She is dropping back down from that optional claim and starter allowance, as well as, running on the turf on Maryland Million Day. That wasn't really her best day. When looking back throughout her races, when you look back at the claiming 25 level, she ran at Parks over the mile. She's done very, very well. So I think they're just trying to get her back sort of in her form cycle. She's shown she's very capable against running against the likes of D's. Just kind of has to find herself a bit again.
I think the key, everything hinges in this race. We're talking about horses like My Cleopatra, Nana Shoes, so I'm going to use a closer, deeper closer, and Breviary. Breviary was against it on the 27th of November, against the grain of the track when Unrequited Love was able to kind of control it up front. Dayboard has got to show a little bit more than what she showed first off the break. She was extremely dead on the board. You're going to get value with her today. when she's right, I think she's faster than the 2 early, but I don't know what happened last time. So I'm hoping the 5 shows a little more effort, a little more speed, which could set it up a little bit better for maybe the 4-7, and definitely going to use the 6 underneath in the exactas. But yeah, man, she just. I expected more from the 5, but back down here the tag, I think she'll hang around a little bit longer this afternoon.
Yeah, I had to use the number 2 unrequited because, like you said, Des Boards has been very, very fast, but she hasn't been around as of late. So I'm just kind of wondering if we're going to see that old foe again and what kind of shape she'll turn up today. I think Unrequited Love actually hence got a little bit of advantage that she has been doing well. She gets back down to very doable levels, able to take them gate to wire, 2 starts ago, optional claimant starts allowance over course and distance. So I think she's going to try do something similar again. And a couple of pounds get taken off by Mr. Alvelo as well. 119 she'll be carrying. I think that's going to help too. Race number 8. We still got 3 more races to go. First level allowance there, 6 furlongs the distance. We'll start with the number 1 is Semper Fi, who both you and I like in this spot. Steps it up from that optional claimant starter allowance level. We look back at his last race where there's actually a couple of things happening here. Is that he got keen and started running up into front runners. That was before we picked it up just a little bit later. Marquez actually had to really put his heels down to kind of take him back, but then here you can see he's still full of run, makes another move. So he had a couple of things going on throughout the race already, but really, really professional once he gets out in the clear here.
You have any cameras at my house that are kind of spying my notes? I wrote down the same thing. Hard held off the leaders early. It's exactly what I said. It was really keen and then relaxed around the turn, angled out, and a strong run home, beating a key horse like Alpha Cairo. We've got a stat for Mary Epler. It's a smaller sample, but the last 3 years with allowance dirt sprinters, 3 for 10 and 7 for 10 in the money with winners last out. ROI 454. I'm a little bit. I was going to check with Mary. I see a work on the 19th. I didn't see anything else. Would have liked to seen another work, but he's kind of found a home here. He's a versatile. He does fine on the turf, but sprinting here. Good, and he's got the right kind of tactical speed, I think. He'll draft up behind some of these other runners around the turn, and I still think we've got some scratches. He'll sneak at an okay price.
Yeah, and I like it when you come up with the stats, especially on a horse that I like, because your stat plays tend to come in quite frequently as well. Now, do you want to mention a horse that you didn't get the chance to get to? I use him as my 4th selection, the number 2, Bear Force 1. Comes in here looking for a 3rd win in a row, has been sort of gradually moving back up to that starter allowance level for trainer Claudio Gonzalez. 2nd start after a break here, sticks around, this kind of distance, has done very well, and his figures also hold up here. I guess it's just more of a class test that he's going to get in here.
That's it. Is he a little bit better on an off track? He rode the best part of the track last time, coming off the break, got through, beat a good group. Stroll Smoking is honest as the day is long. This race really highly competitive, tough race to line for me. Hard to be humble. Ran big last time. I didn't think he'd outrun his the stablemate there, and he did. You've got him on the front end. You've got a horse like 10X, a big effort last time out. He's orientate. Zen Pai, I think, even though he's jumping up in class, the flow of this race is going to work to him. He took advantage of a paceless race last time. Not saying he can't rally from the back. Wide open race. You hear me say this. You've got to demand 7-2 or 4-1 on your horse that you're going to key in here. It's that competitive of a group.
I agree, and I use American Unity because you're already saying that the presence of probably a good bit of speed up front. He looks for a 3rd win in a row as well, cuts back to 6, and he's going to like something to run into, and otherwise, if not, he'll be right up there up front trying to press the issue, and that's the kind of run that I absolutely love in there as well. So I like the number 8 American Unity a little bit. I have him in my exact. I saw you use him underneath as well. Race number 9, another allowance event coming your way. 1 turn, 1 mile the distance for the Maryland bred and Maryland sired ladies. And Keith, you landed on the number 3 in here, Ghost Maiden for trainer Jerry Robb. The X-Man aboard broke her maiden 2 starts ago with a very, very decent number, but she'd already been running those kind of figures, so that wasn't some sort of out of the blue performance. Then stepped it up to the optional claim starter allowance. Last time out showed her speed, which we do tend to see from the Jerry Robb runners, right? Especially the fillies, they tend to be very fast. That is one of their main weapons, and I think Ghost Maiden has that too, but she has another thing, and that's the ability to sit close, continue, no, doesn't matter what the pace is. They can go slow, she's going to press it. They can go fast, she'll stay with you and then move along.
They really, I mean, she disappointed last time. She's 1-2, made a little move and just kind of faded. The fact, though, that this is a horse they claim for 25, a couple big races, they kind of hold sway here and stay protected in this allowance condition. State bred gives me a little hope, but that was a fluke last time. She's going to be the closest pursuer, I believe, maybe to Mitt Mazel. Maybe track that one, and those two might just run as a team from the top of the stretch home because they look to have the ability to separate from this field. If they get into a duel early, then maybe look for good measure in here. I don't know. You've got the 8 real quick. I know Robin likes the 8. She's a Rolling Stone, has a little bit of a price user in the 9th.
I liked her because I was quite taken with her debut win at Pimlico. I remember thinking, she could be quite something. She got a 61 buyer that day, showed very good professionalism, flexibility, has been hanging around at this level. It is a bit of a price play user, but I like the outside draw. She can kind of sit in. Georgie Ruiz has been riding incredibly well, gets on again here. Just as a little bit of a price, I think she can pick up a piece in here for sure. But look, I love Mitt Mazel on this spot because I already mentioned it earlier. She had to come over from this high draw around the mile 116, did so, took them all the way. I think this lower draw is going to help her. Have a long run into the bend. She can just make full use of the speed she has.
And last time out, real quick, I know we're on a short. She did not break well either. She got off poorly. She was rushed up wide. She did ride the better part of the racetrack. Jock kept her off the rail that day. It's where you wanted to be. That's why the 1 with blinkers on, 3rd off of a cycle, maybe good measure, is that horse that's going to make that steady run into the speed if things really get hot and heavy up front. Because good measure showed a lot of promise early, closed into a slow pace when breaking the maiden, but going to need a little help up front. Let's go to the 10th because I know we're running short of time. Guys, we don't need the video of the 2 either. So we'll scrap the video. You'll see that later in the 10th race, maybe when you guys do the show.
We'll just quickly mention, of course, maiden 25 to 20,000, 6 furlongs the distance. And yeah, you were mentioning, let's not use the video. We'll just talk about it. Treasure Tradition, the number 2. Actually, I'd like that shard wide move that he made to get sort of towards the leading pair before the home turn. Well timed there. And then again, another sharp acceleration to take over on the day. I think it took a little bit out of him. Then he couldn't hold off Mohafet afterwards. But I thought it was 2 strong moves within the race that are definitely good enough to get the job done here.
And taking advantage of this condition now, the 25 down the 20, you're allowed to run for the waiver. This is a Maryland bred. We've got a little bit of, since the break, a little bonus to these purses. Dream spot for the 2 will be around 2 to 5.
Yeah, you used the number 4 Rammer as well. Are you anticipating that they're going to be aggressive with him and try and send him?
Yeah, just go. But I mean, the 2 is going to be awfully tough to contain in there, I would think.
Yeah, as that will conclude our handicapping segment for the 10 races coming your way today. We've got plenty to discuss during Lightning Round. Well, first things first, let's have a look at the current standings here. Javier Toledo is planning on continuing the way he left it in the last meet at Laurel Park, where he was a crowned champion. And look, he's started off very decently.
He has. He's been riding for some top barns, getting the right horses. Certainly a capable rider, as everybody on this page is. But it's early. We'll see how things go.
And then in terms of the trainers' standings, we know that Claudio Gonzalez sealed the deal, but it's only early days. Do you see that Rudy Sanchez-Solomon has really started to heat up as well?
He has. Again, case in numbers with Claudio, but Sanchez-Solomon, a barn that was on a little bit of a lull for a while. It's just kind of come back with a vengeance over the last couple months. Barn and Jerry Robb, again. Farrier, there's one. I mean, you remember. I mean, he'll even tell you. He says, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I can't win a race. He's winning races now, so pay attention to that barn as well.
Yeah, and talking about standings, we are very well represented in terms of our Eclipse Award nominees. We have 2 of our, not apprentice anymore now for Charlie Marquez. He's a journeyman now, but we have John Geraldo and Charlie Marquez both in the running for the Eclipse Awards. I mean, absolutely phenomenal feat here. We do have, I think, 2 of the finishes for John Geraldo here, 2 of his biggest purses, both for trainer Jerry O'Dwyer. That is Trust Daddy right there. And look, the fact that we continue to produce these Eclipse Award-winning apprentices speaks volumes to, I think, the riding colony here, the jockeys that they're riding against, that they're learning from. Of course, last year we had Alexander Crispin winning it. And look, Keith, you vote on this. Of course, I've got to ask, who did you vote for?
Slight edge, Geraldo over, Marquez, both very, very capable. I would say Geraldo was the favorite, to win it. But, good year for Charlie. Charlie's done well. But you're talking about this circuit. Chris McCarron, Kent DeSormo. I went back and looked. Jimmy Edwards, Mark Johnston. The list goes on and on and on and on. I mean, with the apprentice winners. Weston Hamilton a few years back. So this is a haven. I mean, the jocks, they cut their teeth here, and they get a chance. The trainers give them a chance, and a lot of them have blossomed into very good riders.
They do indeed. Yeah, John Geraldo leads the way by wins. Now I know that another apprentice on the West Coast, Jessica Pfeiffer, leads the way in terms of earnings, and then Charlie Marquez coming in third in terms of wins. So of course, good luck to everyone. We'll be rooting for you. Very proud to be that well represented once again. And talking more about the Eclipse Awards, the Media Eclipse Awards came out, and again, Maryland was very, very well represented here. Sandra McKee won Features as commentary writer with A Jockey's Life, and I was very fortunate to be part of an Eclipse Award winning team myself as well with Magical Moments. We discussed the Breeders' Cup. It was an idea of a brainchild of Peter Thomas Fornatel, and Matthew Taylor of At the Races did all the hard lifting with the graphics. So I feel very, very fortunate to have been a part of that too.
Congratulations. I'm in the presence here. I'm telling you, it's perfect. And I've been lucky. I've been around here a long, long time, and now you get your Eclipse. Sandy McKee, I've known her for a long time. She came over. She covered every sport at the Sun, and did NASCAR and everything. But great that she got this. But Tom Kaiser, a slew of Eclipse Awards, Vinnie Perrone, John Scheinman, Jack Mann. I know I'm going to miss a couple, but other guys that were here that have won the Eclipse. I've been lucky enough to be around and work with a lot of those great writers and producers of video and everything that you've done. So we're lucky. We're lucky here.
Well, talking about our final point here, as we do have to move on, champion Hello Beautiful was recently sold at Keeneland. She ended up bringing $410,000. She was purchased by Larry Best of Oxo Equine. But look, she became just the seventh horse to win 3 Maryland Million races in the Maryland Millions, 36 years. She was Maryland Rent Champion Juvenile Filly, 8-time Black Type Stakes winner. And what we're looking at here is when she was able to give Sheldon Russell her 1500, his 1500 career victory as well, which is just a fairy tale story, right? What Hello Beautiful has been able to do for Brittany Russell, for Team Russell. The fact that Brittany Russell changed, her husband Sheldon Russell has been her main rider. It's just an absolutely wonderful story, and she will be missed. I think I was reading one of the articles that Larry Best was saying that she is going to be bred, possibly go to Instagram this year. But she will be missed. One of my favorites for sure.
We'll be looking forward. Yeah, she put on a lot of dazzling efforts, no doubt about it. I mean, it's sad. You see these horses, you root for them, you become real big fans. Hey, she's going to go do what she's going to do, which is put out, I'm sure, some very nice babies, and you'll see them on the track in a few years, and I'm sure winning some races. And real quick on the Eclipse, Marty McGee, I can't forget him. Heck, he got me into this, got me in my first job. So Marty, I didn't want to leave you out of that list, and I'm sure I did, as some other people. But again, congrats to you. That's phenomenal.
Thank you so much. Let's hope the good luck continues. We'll pick a couple of winners today. I'll be back in just a second with Calais Francois. But of course, up next will be Dave Rodman with Scratches and Changes.
All right, good luck.